Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Huddle Heads, our first one for the season. We're super excited to be here. We're trying a new layout, as you can see. We've got Josh on one side,
Hi.
you got me on the other. So we're trying this new podcast type of layout. So hopefully you guys enjoy it and you most importantly subscribe and like our content. It'll encourage us to keep going and obviously help us grow. So let's get started, Josh. Let's do the Patriots first, since we're both sporting some Patriots gear. Yeah,
So this week we got the Bengals versus the Patriots, and the Patriots won surprisingly versus the Bengals. T. Higgins was out, so that kind of gave us a little advantage. But yeah, Ramondre Stevenson played very well. Jacoby Brissett played pretty decent. So
yep. I completely agree. I wasn't expecting a win from the Patriots, to be very honest, even as a fan. But I'm glad that we got the win. I think it was important to start off the season strong. We have a new quarterback in Brissett. We have a rookie that was on the bench. That was kind of hard to watch. I would have loved for him to start, Drake May, but that's okay. We knew that was going to happen. So just happy to get the win there.
yeah,
And a little injury report quickly. Jordan Love.
he tore his MCL, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He should be out for at least 4 games.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. I heard some reports today that may be different from what we initially heard. Um, Maybe he'll play on Sunday. I heard some reports, but again, I don't know. Obviously, we're very far from the game here, but from what I understand, he may have a chance to play on Sunday, which is amazing. But we'll see how that goes for the Packers. Obviously, that's a big hit for them, for their hopes of making the playoffs. So we wish him well.
Yeah, also Christian McCaffrey was out on Monday versus the Jets.
Yeah.
That was apparently it was supposed to be a bad thing, except the Niners have a great backup running back who played amazing
He
out of
did.
nowhere. That was really, really unexpected.
I agree. You know what? They spoiled the Aaron Rodgers party.
Yeah.
I know it was in San Fran, so that was fun for them. But I know some people were kind of disappointed with the way Aaron Rodgers played. Look, I don't blame the guy. I'm not a fan of Aaron Rodgers. I respect his play for sure, but obviously, when you take that much time away from the game, plus he had issues with his obviously his Achilles, which he tore last season. I don't know. I think he'll still do well. It's Aaron Rodgers. He's always done well in his career. He's obviously getting older, but we know guys like Manning and Brady did very well later in their career. So hopefully he does well. Sorry. So we wish him a lot of luck, obviously, and we'll see how the Jets do. I think, Josh, honestly, I'd rather the Jets don't win. They're in our
Yeah.
division, but we don't like to see people injured on this show. I think it's kind of crappy when guys are injured. So we're happy when they come back and wish them the best of seasons, right?
Yeah. So the Patriots, what do you think their record is going to be?
So to go back to the Patriots, yeah, for sure. I think that the Patriots are going to win 9 games. We were talking about 8 to 9 games when you asked me that several weeks ago. I still believe that's the answer. Closer to 9. Again, this win was last Sunday was amazing. I'm very surprised, happily surprised. So I think 9 wins is would be a good season. The way I see things, considering what's going on there up in New England. What about you?
I think they're going to win 10 games. Surprising, but since they won against Cincy, yes, they lost T. Higgins, but still, I think the Patriots defense will do very well this season. Ramondre Stevenson is going to do well. Jacoby Brissett is looking good.
Yeah,
So if we combine all of that, I think they're going to do really well. 10-7 is my move. Yeah.
yeah, no, for sure. I agree with you. Um, 10 games would be great. I feel like if we get to 10 games, that would be interesting. I have a notification. I'm just gonna. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so 10 games would be awesome. But I don't know if we can get there. Obviously, I'm gonna be a happy guy if we are. So I hope you're right. But we'll see. We'll take it a game at a time. Our next one is against.
The Seattle Seahawks and then the Jets. So yeah,
Ooh, okay.
it's gonna be it's There's two like medium teams that were playing the
Right.
next 2 weeks, and then after the Jets were playing the Niners, so it's gonna be a hard matchup.
Imagine we win
Oh,
against the Niners.
if we win against the Niners, we're gonna probably win more than 10 games.
You're right, but I
Yeah,
don't see that happening.
yeah, me neither.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so last week, obviously, you guys want to know about the scores. You can check that on your sports apps, ESPN or whatever. We're not going to go through every score. There was some new quarterbacks that we had our eye on.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels and Bo
Yep,
Nix.
two rookies. How'd they play, Josh? According to you?
So I think Jaden Daniels played pretty good. He had 2 touchdowns, right? And Bo Nix played pretty good
Yeah,
too.
I agree. I'm a fan of Bo Nix. Honestly, when he played in college, he played for Oregon for quite a while. I was very happy with him. Obviously, I'm not an Oregon fan. We are both Michigan fans, so Oregon now being in the Big Ten kind of changes things for us. But I was always a fan of Bo Nix, so I'm happy he's doing well. I mean, listen, both those quarterbacks you mentioned lost last week, but they played very, very well compared to maybe like a Bryce Young who they were saying he has a bright future in the NFL and this and that, which he still might. But last season he played very, very poorly. This weekend as well, they got blown out by the Saints. So I'm not a fan of his necessarily, but these two quarterbacks seems like they're on the right route. Although they lost, I feel like they'll do well. And there's some new faces and some new teams. We saw Kirk Cousins. He didn't do very well, or did he? No, he lost.
Yeah, he lost. He
Yeah,
didn't do the best.
we saw Justin Fields do real well.
Yeah.
Well,
Speaking of Justin Fields,
yep,
he will be the starter this week also
yep.
because Russell Wilson got hurt, I think his calf or something.
I don't know if they're making that up. I mean, they were calling him the starter up until like Thursday of last week, so I don't get what's happening up in Pittsburgh. But you know what? Good for Fields. I was surprised that he was gone from Chicago, which I was getting to that next quarterback, but I was surprised he left Chicago when he left, and they drafted Caleb Williams, who got his win as well. So happy for both those guys in Pittsburgh and in Chicago. But I don't see it as a long term thing. Justin Fields, I think, will eventually back up Russell Wilson unless he puts it together. Sunday they won, but Josh, how did they win?
They won by only field goals. They scored 18 points, but only field goals.
Right? So it's hard to win games like that. They won, good for them. The Bears won by defense. They did real well on defense, and they ended up winning that game. Caleb Williams didn't do much, and he's getting all the glory. So we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, let's talk about the Ravens game, Baltimore versus Chiefs.
That was the first game of the week.
Yeah, a game of a toe. Like when I'm talking about game of a toe, I mean a game of a toe. Lamar Jackson just threw it up there to Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely caught it, but he got out of bounds barely, just by
By how
like a
much?
toe.
This much? This
Yeah,
much?
about this much, just his toe.
Just his toe.
That's just insane. The Isaiah Likely could have tied the game for the Ravens, except they lost 27-20 against the Chiefs.
Yeah. I mean, it's not surprising the Chiefs won that game,
Yeah.
but it's the way that they won that was kind of maybe surprising. The fact that likely could have scored that, or likely have scored that touchdown. I like that. But yeah, no. So definitely an interesting game. I'm excited to see what Baltimore has to offer this year. They lost, but they lost against a really good team, and they could have won easily. So I think they'll do really well. I'm not at all concerned for Baltimore. The Eagles are still my choice for the Super Bowl, Josh. I know we're trying to move really fast here, guys. I hope we're not confusing anybody, but we're gonna kind of try to keep it condensed.
Yeah.
So we're moving fast. So try to keep up. If you have questions, Josh, where do they write the questions?
In the comments down below.
Yeah. So let us know what you want to hear about, who your teams are. If you misunderstood something, we'll be happy to answer your questions. But to get back to what we were saying, the Super Bowl this year is in a few months. It's obviously far away. But since it's week one, I'm going to go with my pick, which is going to be the Eagles. Some people that listen to this might be really happy about that. It's hard for me to say it as a Pats fan. They beat us in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, so that kind of stunk. But I'm going to go with the Eagles just because of what I see on paper. They look really good on paper. They played really well on what was it, Friday night against Green Bay. Yes, they lost love, but by that point it was already kind of over. So I'm sticking with the Eagles to win the Super Bowl.
Talking about the Packers, It's kind of funny how Jordan Love got hurt, but then right before he got hurt, they traded for Malik Willis. So that kind of helped the Packers, because if it wasn't for Malik Willis, they have like Sean Clifford. I don't even know who that is, and probably you don't even know who that is. So I think it's a little funny how they traded for Malik Willis right before Jordan Love got hurt.
Well, right, like before the game, you mean?
Yeah, before the game.
Right. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy. But I'm gonna go back to my last question to you, Josh,
Yeah.
for the Super Bowl. My pick was the Eagles. Do you have a pick yet or not yet?
Yes, I have a pick. I think the Ravens are gonna win the Super Bowl. I think it's gonna
Good
be
pick.
Ravens versus Chiefs. No, not Ravens, not versus Chiefs. Sorry, Ravens versus Eagles. I got mixed up there. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I think the score would be 38-31.
Write this down, guys, because if he's right, I mean, take it to the bank.
Yeah.
I'm not giving away any scores. I'm not there yet, but I'm sticking with the Eagles. And now coming up this week, as we wrap it up, we went a little longer than we thought. Let's give our picks for Thursday night's game only. Bills.
Bills versus Dolphins.
Oh yeah, I was looking for the
Yeah.
Dolphins. Yeah.
I think the Dolphins will win this game.
By how many points?
I think they're gonna win by at least a touchdown.
At least a touchdown.
I think
So
it's
maybe
gonna
more.
be a low-scoring game. I think it's gonna be 14-7.
Wow.
Yeah, two a good defenses playing against each other. Yes, I hate to say it because I hate the Bills, but the Bills are gonna have. The Bills are gonna. I think they're gonna have a great defense this year. So combining the Bills defense with the Dolphins defense are two great defenses. So the Bills offense isn't the best. Yes, they have Josh Allen who could jump over people like you saw in Week 1, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a close game.
All right. Well, I have Miami as well. So we'll close it off here. And guys, again, subscribe, like, share the content. If you want to say anything, if you want to get our attention, write it in the comments. We love to hear from you guys. I know that watching us, we have a lot of Bills fans, unfortunately, but we accept and we love you guys. We have a lot of Eagles fans and a few Cowboys fans as well. So keep them coming. We love it. It's fun. It's football season. So we don't take anything personally. We love the Pats. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they suck. So you give it to us, and hopefully we'll be able to go back and forth in the comments there. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Josh, any last words?
No, I think it's good. So goodbye, guys, and see you guys in Week 2. Peace
Yeah.
out.